Josh Green here for Tungsten Tales. Delighted to be joined by Luke Woodhouse. Luke, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. You?
Not too bad, not too bad at all.
Good.
Um, it's been a strange year for yourself, really. There's been some really good stuff in there, and we've sort of seen the stuff we saw 2-3 years ago. Elsewhere, maybe not so much. How would you assess the year so far?
It's been a bit of a strange one for me. I've played some really good stuff in patches, and then I've little bits and bobs. It hasn't been so great. So I'm delighted with the way I've played sort of on the European tour this year, and I've made breakthroughs, making a couple of Sundays and stuff. But yeah, my pro tour sort of form and some results, and it hasn't really gone my way. So yeah, it's been a strange one, really. Yeah.
It's hard on that Pro Tour when there's so many tough draws. You see so many of the new tour card holders have gone on and done particularly well this year. And when you're drawing some of them in the first round, they can be very, very tough weekends, can't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had a few. I think maybe 3 or 4 games this year where I've averaged 100 and I haven't won, or 100 plus and I haven't won. It just goes to show the depth of players on the pro tour. It's not always sort of players in the top 16 or 32 that are beating you. You can average 100 against anyone out of them, out of 128, and lose. So yeah, it's probably as tough as ever at the moment on the tour, and I think it just shows from some results, and like losing averages are quite high as well.
You say you're happy with what we've seen on the European Tour. Do you think you put that down to being on stage, not being in that quiet back room in Barnsley, and you've got a little bit of something to throw for with the crowd there?
Yeah, possibly. I quite enjoy, like with the pro tours and stuff. You're building yourself up for a full day of playing. I quite enjoy you're preparing for sort of one game a day, or like one game a session. You're not really thinking, what if I win, I got on in 10 minutes again or whatever. So I quite enjoy the fact that I know I can prepare for a certain time, and get ready for one game rather than like a full day of darts. But like I say, I enjoy playing the pro tour as well. But yeah, because it's on stage and stuff, the Europeans they have that little bit more sort of like TV feel to them, so that they're a little bit more enjoyable to play in. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned getting into the Sundays. Obviously, that's a big aim for anybody sort of around where you are in the order of merits. It's a real big boost. Was that a goal for you going into the season, that if you can get to those Sundays, you're going to be able to climb the order of merit a bit?
Yeah, not so much a goal as in sort of I set any sort of goals out, but yeah, it's always. I mean, whenever you qualify for any European events, and I qualified for like quite a few this year, you're always aiming to get to the Sunday, because obviously you then know you've won your first game, and then you've had to beat a seed to then make the Sunday, and then from there, obviously your confidence it should be quite high then to be able to keep going, and then yeah, if you get to the Sunday, then obviously yeah, your ranking prize money is just gonna start to really add up then. So yeah, I think it's anyone that qualifies for a European event. I think the goal is always to try and make the Sunday.
Yeah. As you say, there's been some really promising stuff on the European Tour. Just dropped short for that European Championship, just one place. So maybe just one more win would have got you over the line. Encouraging that you were so close. A little bit of disappointment though that it didn't quite happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still 2 events to go. So I mean, I think I'll probably end up missing out by more than one place anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think if I'd have won one more game, it'd have been close to whether I'd have been in, sort of, obviously with the 2 events left to go. So yeah, it's my best year on the European Tour. So it's something to build on for next year, and hopefully go on better next year and get in. But yeah, it's a slight bit of frustration that maybe if I'd qualified for one more event, it might have meant I'd have been in. But I'll try and always take the sort of positives, like moving forward. So yeah, I'm a little tiny bit frustrated, but it's not sort of the be all and end all.
As we were saying off camera, it's a big end to the year with lots of TV tournaments. When you've not quite made the qualification for them, what do you do as a darts player? Are you on the board, or are you giving yourself that bit of rest you need before the final kick into the World Championships?
Yeah, I mean, since the last European Tour, I've done which obviously was like the last weekend. I've had an exhibition in Wolverhampton, which I've done. But then I've had a few days off not playing. But then sort of this week I'll get back on the board, and I think it's about 4-ish weeks to the next set of Pro Tours. So then I'll have a good sort of 3-4 weeks, sort of doing a few hours a day on the board, then get myself ready and secure my place in the world, and then hopefully creep into the spots at Minehead. So I'll put in the work now, and obviously the back end of the year is so important for all the players, because so many events, and obviously you've got the Grand Slam qualifiers as well. So obviously they're very important now. The Grand Slam's ranked.
Yeah, you say the Grand Slam obviously ranked now. It's come in, 2 years ago, I think the rankings came in for the Grand Slam. It just adds that extra layer of importance, and with those qualification spots, any player can come through them. You've obviously done it to get on European tours before. How important are those qualifiers? And they could really build up to something big, couldn't they? Yeah,
I think the players now, I mean, I always entered and wanted to qualify anyway, because I've never played in the Grand Slam, so it'd be nice to play in it. But I think a few players in previous years have sort of either not entered or not overly fussed because it wasn't a ranked event. But now it's ranked. Players, I think, are taking it a lot more seriously and wanting to qualify, just purely because big sort of TV ranking events, they're not easy to qualify for. So if you can qualify for another one, it just adds another string to your bow, and it allows you to earn ranking money on obviously onto your world rankings and your order of merit.
I imagine the Grand Slam is pretty much as close to you get as a local tournament as well in the PDC.
Yeah, it's the nearest one. I think obviously now, like the Grand Prix in Leicester, that's not a million miles from me. But yeah, the Grand Slams, it's about 25 minutes from me. So yeah, it would almost be like a local tournament. Yeah.
Moving on to the World Championship, which is just 2 or 3 months away now until we're going to be at the Ali Pali. You've had some success over there over the years, obviously in your debut year beating Michael Smith on that stage. Is it something that you really enjoy going back to and really enjoy the feel of the Alexandra Palace?
Yeah, it's. I mean, obviously, I haven't qualified for a lot of different majors, but it's my favourite place to play, just because the whole feel of the event and the crowd and everyone's there. Because obviously, it's sort of, even when I wasn't playing professionally, the World Championships sort of felt like it was Christmas sort of thing. You knew it was that time of the year, and everyone's just buzzing for the event, and it just feels like a lot bigger occasion, and it's so much more important, and it's also an event that it can change your life. If you have a really deep run, it puts you into opens so many doors for you. So yeah, it's definitely one I get excited about playing in and trying to perform my best in. Yeah.
And the crowd is obviously completely different gravy at the World Championship. They're out there. And the noise in that room is absolutely incredible. Something you will have experienced, of course. So can you ever prepare for what it's going to be like at the Ali Pali?
No, not really. Obviously, once you've played there a couple of times, you get an idea. But it's still sort of, when you walk out and you hear the noise, it still sort of takes you. Do you know what I mean? Takes you back a little bit, and it can become not intimidating. That's the wrong word, but you're certainly aware that they're there. Do you know what I mean? And if they're definitely supporting a certain player or whatever, you can definitely tell. And it's, like you say, just a massive wall of noise, and obviously they're all there having a good time, and red lights. I mean, a lot of it's probably Christmas parties and stuff like that. So yeah, it's brilliant, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a cracking place to play darts. Well, thank you very much for your time, Luke. Really appreciate it. And best of luck in the last few events.
Yeah, no problems. Thank you very much. Thank you.